Peter says, can you talk about the best way to structure a page title? Sure. We'll talk about that. Let me pause the screen for a minute, get a clean notepad file open. That's all right. Here we go. All right. So let me, if it is a location landing page, so LLP, location landing page, I always recommend, whoops. Yeah. Brand first, because that's how Google does it. Then primary GB category. And then location modifier, which is usually going to be city, comma, state. Go to Wikipedia, look up the location entity, and determine how it's listed in Wikipedia. And that's how I like to reference it. Yes, you can do a state abbreviation if you want. Google will recognize that, but I prefer to list the location entity, the way that is referenced in Wikipedia. The Google Business category, reference the Google Business category as it is listed in Google Business or in Maps, and in the brand name, because that's how Google treats its own assets. When you create a Google Business profile, Google treats the assets with always appending or prepending the SEO title with the brand name. And then even in the Google Business website, which again is now moot, it even references in the helper text for best results include, and it puts in quotes, the primary Google Business category as the category is listed in Maps. Hopefully you can infer what I'm trying to share there. And then always append the city and state. It'll say and include, and it will reference the city too. So I like to reference the city as the location entity is referenced in Wikipedia. Hopefully that's clear. In some cities like Las Vegas, it doesn't have comma state, so you can omit that. But in other cities, a lot of cities, it's going to have comma and then state spelled out. So that's the way I reference it. Now, if it's an organic page, meaning a page that isn't directly tied to a Google Business profile, then I like to do the main product or service topic, then service, then city, state, and then brand. And this is how I do all of my top level pages, full stop. I'm still doing some testing with some different configurations when, like, for example, if the brand name contains the location modifier as well, which I do for a lot of tree contractors, if there's a multi-location project, usually they'll have the company name and then the city name appended to it. Then I will try to omit. Then I might rearrange the title format a bit because I do not like to duplicate terms in SEO titles. Don't get me wrong, you can, and it can still be effective, but I try not to. There is an SEO reason to not want to duplicate terms, but also it's a preference thing. I try not to duplicate terms in the SEO title. So I don't want to have the same city name twice. Again, it can't always be avoided, but I try not to have the city name twice in the SEO title or the keyword twice, etc. So again, this is how I typically do most of them, except for when I'm testing and experimenting, which I've got several I've talked about in our mastermind recently. There are several kind of configurations that I'm testing right now with SEO title formatting when there's a redundancy in the SEO title. Hopefully that's clear, right? But these are the two formats that I recommend. This has historically worked for years, even throughout, well, I've pretty much always optimized this way, but in the last year and a half, since really the algorithm shifted to kind of more of a topic and category based algorithm where keyword optimization still works. If Google stopped that, it would have broke the internet. You can still optimize for keywords, but it's not the most efficient way to optimize. And you can use keyword optimization for supporting content to support a topic or category. Hopefully that's clear. But I try to optimize now specifically for top level categories or topics. And then if needed, after allowing the project to mature a little bit, to season, to age a little bit, right? And monitor the results. If I find that there are particular search queries that aren't performing as well, then I can always add supporting content that is placed within that appropriate silo or category on the site that is then keyword optimized, that links up to the top level topic or category page. And from that top level topic or category page, there's a reciprocal link that links back down to that supporting post. But it's a different optimization strategy. Keyword optimization is different than topic or category optimization. It's a different method. You can still rank with both, but here's the thing: with a keyword optimized page, you can rank for that keyword in close variants of that keyword. But with a topic or category optimized page, you can rank That page for every search query that Google understands is associated with that topic or category, even if it's not present on the page. And I know that a lot of people just don't believe it. Okay, don't, but test with it and you'll see it. It really is true, but you have to optimize for that method, which is again why I try to optimize top level pages this way. And I try to do the least amount of work now to achieve results because, and that's also for Google's benefit, right? Because reducing crawl resistance, Cecilia, I reference you every time I say that, reducing crawl resistance is also another SEO method now, right? It's a way to help the sites to perform better. Is if you reduce crawl resistance, makes it easier for Google to understand what the site is about, crawl and index the pages, etc. So reduce bloat and all that others by not having redundancy on the site. You don't have to have 15 pages saying the same thing just different ways in order to rank for that keyword anymore, right? I just did an audit for a link building client today that I've already done 2 other audits for. And he sent me a message saying, "Hey man, my client's site traffic has been declining over the last 6 months, and SEMrush says that your links are toxic." Oh, of course they do, because SEMrush is overly sensitive for links, and I don't give a damn what SEMrush says about links. Honestly, I don't. I use SEMrush, I like SEMrush, but I don't use it for link analysis for sure. And so I showed in my reply that the links that I provided are 100% relevance match at both the referring domain, referring page, referring domain, and the backlink profile pointing to the referring domain. So we're using providing relevance matching at 3 levels, and that's a toxic link. Okay. So then I exported the page titles file by running it through a crawler, and the page titles are, I swear to God, I've got a widescreen laptop here, and I had to expand the CSV file with the page titles column almost to where it ran off the screen, because the page titles have got 14 fucking keywords published in every single one of them, and there's a ton of redundancy and bloat on the site. And so I brought that up, and I very clearly stated, and I hope whoever, if you're the link building client, I'm not going to name anybody, but I was trying to be very clear in my video, like, okay, so let me ask you something. Do you think it's my links that are showing 100% relevance matching at referring page, referring domain, and the backlink profile pointing to the referring domain is what's causing your problem? Or do you think it's this? And I showed the CSV file and I sent it to him in the reply too. Like, you think it's this? Every page on the site has an SEO title with 13 keywords stuffed into it. And there's multiple pages targeting the exact same keywords, just different. The keywords are just, the sequence of keywords in those long SEO titles is just different. It's just rearranged. Same topic. You think that's the problem? Or do you think it's my links that are showing 100% relevance at 3 levels? You make the decision. If you think my links are bad and you want to disavow them, fine. But I promise that's not going to help. You know what I mean? So anyways, again, I'm not picking on anybody here. I'm just clarifying, like, again, the point is, if you optimize for these types of methods, you need a lot less content on the site. You can have the page titles very succinct and short so that you're optimizing for what is shown in right here, right? And then that page can rank for most of the search queries. There are certainly going to be search queries that it's not going to perform as well for. That's when you go in and publish supporting content that is then keyword optimized, placed within that category with internal linking, such that you are proving to Google that this is supporting content to help support this top level page. That's essentially the point. So if you do that and you optimize this way and you track your results, you can identify those keywords that need a little bit more push. Then you develop the content instead of coming out of the gate with, okay, my company or my client's company does 5 products or services, and they've got 15 locations that they want to target. So now we need 75 pages of content, right? Each keyword or product or service times each location. No. Figure out the top level category or topic term, optimize that plus location. If you've got 5 products or services, even if each one of those services or products or services requires its own separate page because they're unique enough that they need their own service pages for each, and you have 15 locations, well, now you only need 20 pages, right? You don't need 75 pages where you're saying the same thing over and over and over again, just worded differently, because that creates crawl resistance. Why do that? Why not make it easier for Google, make it easier for your users, make it easier for your team to not have to produce so much damn content? Makes it easier for your budget when it comes to link building, because instead of having 75 pages to build links to, you got 20. Like 25%, a quarter of the amount of pages to build links to. What is a better, more efficient way to optimize, guys? Keyword optimization or topic or category optimization? I think you guys know the answer to that. So All I'm trying to say is, again, I recommend playing with this, guys. Don't just believe me. Play with it. Determine it. I've talked about how to do that before. Go out and buy 5 domains, right? Seriously, in whatever industry you're in, this is a really good strategy for you guys. If you're in the SEO business and you're not testing on your own and you're relying on other people such as myself, you're missing out, right? Because I can tell you, I can talk till I'm blue in the face, guys, but you should be testing this on your own, improving it, right, for yourself. And so I recommend doing this. Pick an industry. I always recommend you guys find one industry and go into that, because this type of research and testing and everything else is how you get really good in a particular industry. And if you want to do better, if you want to do better than most of the other SEOs out there, be willing to do more than they are. And I don't mean more grunt work. I mean, be willing to test more, right? And so what I'm saying is, if like pick an industry, do your topic and category research. I've talked about how to do that many times. You can go to our YouTube channel and find videos on where I've gone very thoroughly on how to do topic research, essentially by using Google searches with Wikipedia appended to the search term. I've talked about all of that. Figure out which topic terms, or categories, if it's a Google business profile, are relevant to your industry, the chosen industry. Select one industry and do this. Do your research, collect all of the terms and categories that you think are relevant to your industry, and then go and set up some test sites. Not that you plan on monetizing, although if they rank, certainly you want to be able to monetize them. But then go out and buy 5 domains, and you can put just a paragraph of text on each page. You can do an HTML site, and just so that's very simple to deploy, or you can set up 5 WordPress sites. I don't care. Just get 5 domains. If what you could do is get a domain. It doesn't even have to be a keyword-rich domain, but whatever industry you're in, you can get a relevant keyword-rich domain, and then use 5 different extensions, right? If you want. So like .com, .net, .org, .us, .co, whatever. Get 5 extensions, the same domain, so that it's not you can't say, well, this domain's better than this one because the keyword's different or whatever. No, get the same damn domain with different extensions. And then go in and test different configurations of top-level SEO titles. You can have the same paragraph. I would use 1 paragraph of text. It can be more, guys, but I'm saying don't spend a lot of time building out these sites. It's for testing purposes. All I'm saying is you can have a page with no images, nothing else, and just publish the SEO title, and then a little bit of content that is relevant to the SEO title, the queries or the search terms, the keywords or topics or categories that you are putting into the SEO title. Have a little bit of content that backs that up. It can just be a paragraph, seriously. And then you rewrite that same paragraph over and over and over again for each of those 5 sites, where you're testing the same kind of keywords or categories or topic terms, etc., but in different configurations. And then put them into a rank tracker, and I would also submit them to Search Console, seriously, and then let them go. Don't touch them. Don't build links to them, nothing. And give it a month. And then come back and monitor and look at the rank results. Where out of those 5 domains that are optimized similarly, right? They're not even optimized. It's just the SEO title. Which out of those 5 ranks at the highest, the number 2 position, number 3? And I don't mean number 1, 2, and 3 in Google. I just mean wherever they rank, the highest ranking one. I don't care if it's page 10. It doesn't matter. And if the highest ranking one's on page 10 and then the next one's on page 11, then you know that one on page 10 is probably likely the better candidate for optimizing. So then you do it again, test it again. You can use the same domains, by the way. You can go through and clear all that data out and do it again with different configurations and test it, or on a different page on the same domain. And again, it's not about having them rank. It's about, out of those 5 or 3 or however many you do, which one outranks the others. I don't care whether it ranks well or not. It doesn't matter. It's just what performs better than the others. And then you duplicate that again, try it again. And so remember, in direct response marketing, the goal is to always beat the control, right? You identify what is your best performing ad or campaign or whatever, and that becomes the control. And your sole purpose in life is to beat the control, right? You always are trying different configurations, different copy. You're testing different things to see if you can beat the performance of the control. And so that's what you should be doing with SEO too. I mean, I do it a lot with a lot of, tree service stuff, and I'm still testing. It's funny, but I mean, it really is. I've been testing for 2 years now, doing this kind of stuff, and I go through cycles where I'll test a lot for a couple of months, and then I don't test for several months because I'm building out SOPs and products and stuff to produce the effect that I found worked best for my testing. And then I go back into testing mode again. And that's kind of where I'm at now, is testing again. I've got several different projects where I'm testing this configuration in the tree service industry. And I'm only saying that because, again, guys, try doing this across 5 different industries. Good luck. I don't know how anybody has the time to do that stuff. But anyway, it's a different way to optimize, but it performs a lot better. So I'd encourage you to check it, try it yourself. Don't believe me, do it yourself and see what performs best. Because here's the thing. Once you identify a particular configuration that seems to outperform, and then you duplicate it and you see it again, now you're on to something. Now you can apply that to all of your projects for your clients in that same industry, and you've instantly got a leg up, an advantage on others that aren't willing to do that, or that are still following what they think, is 2020 optimization tactics, which is what I still see a lot of, right? Where you got 13 keywords in the SEO title because that works. Anyways, so that's kind of my thought on that.